In Nigeria this week, gunmen have reportedly kidnapped an evangelical pastor and 16 other Christians in an attack that also killed one person. Dale Hurd is in our newsroom and has the latest. Dale.
Heather, the incident happened in the Igabi area of Kaduna State. Reverend Zechariah Edo and 16 members of the Evangelical Church Winning All, including the pastor's daughter, 2 elders, and the son of an Assemblies of God minister, were kidnapped after midnight in the early hours Sunday. A witness said the kidnappers were 20 to 30 armed Fulani extremists, a violent, mostly Islamic group that has carried out many attacks on Christians in Nigeria. A witness said it happened as the church was hosting a combined choir fellowship. The Evangelical Church Winning All denomination is said to have the largest mission organization of any African church and has seen phenomenal growth, with some churches growing as much as 400% in the last several years. The Nigerian press reports so far no contact has been established with the kidnappers. Heather.
All right, thanks, Dale. And CBN News senior international correspondent Gary Lane has been covering the persecution of the Nigerian church for many years and joins us now. You've been in Kaduna, but tell us about these Fulani extremists, what we know about them, why they might have done this.
Well, the Fulani, first thing you need to know about first thing you need to know about the Fulani is they are Muslims, so they view Christians as infidels. They have no problem attacking them, killing them, doing whatever they want to them because they feel they're less of a person than they are. But the second thing that we need to know, Heather, is the Fulani are controlled by wealthy landowners, wealthy business people. The average Nigerian cannot afford an AK-47. You had 20 of these guys armed with AK-47s. They went in, did this kidnapping. They can't afford those guns, so the guns are supplied for them. The goal is to control the land, get the Christians out of the land so the Muslims can move in, the wealthy landowners can come in, business people, and control that land. It's of great value.
What might be the strategy behind kidnapping as opposed to just outright killing them? Ransoms.
I think the men probably have the guarantee of, well, look, you kidnap them rather than kill them, then whatever ransom is paid, you can share in that, reap some of the benefits there. So it also may be part of a negotiating bargaining chip strategy. We don't know for certain, but generally, if you kill them, you can't get a ransom for them.
Right. All right. And we know Boko Haram is also a threat to Christians in the country. What do you see as the solution here, or what is the answer?
Boko Haram is trying to control part of northeastern Nigeria, and they would like to see Sharia law over the entire country. As you know, the northern part of the country is Muslim, southern part is Christian. They would like to see the entire country Muslim. But the solution would be to put pressure on the Nigerian government. That is the solution, but so far there's no will to stop this.
Okay, and talk a little bit about the growth of Christianity in Nigeria. It's so interesting how the church there seems to be growing even as these attacks are continuing.
Yes, it has grown, and as Dale reported, 400% in the case of that church. But look, years ago I met with Samuel Lamb in China. He was one of the pioneers of the modern-day house church movement. I asked him about persecution. He said, look, when I was first arrested and sent to prison, he spent 20 years in prison in China. He said, look, the church was only 200. When I came out of prison, it had grown to 900. And then they confiscated the church building. After the confiscation, the church grew to 2,000 people. He said, look, persecution good for church. And it's true, because through the persecution, the church grows. And you know the old saying, the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church. And so the church is growing in Nigeria as a result of this persecution. So we think, oh, how horrible. But God turns that around. He uses it to grow the church.
And as we mentioned before, you have been to Kaduna where this happened.
I have been to Kaduna.
What kind of village area is that like?
Well, it's a very large city, actually, and the people there are a mixture of Muslim and Christian. There's a division in the city where you see more Muslims, and then another part of the city more Christians. But a lot of churches there, Heather. So they're easy targets, especially when you have a congregation of 6,000 churches.
Yeah. All right. And I'm going to let you go in just a minute, but I want to ask you, when you think about religious liberty concerns around the world, how does this compare? How should we be prioritizing what's happening in Nigeria?
Nigeria is one of the toughest places to be a Christian. Open Doors has it listed as number 12 on its list of worst persecuting countries. Number 1, of course, is North Korea. But it's very difficult to be a Christian in Nigeria these days. Thousands have been killed in the recent years.
All right. Well, Gary Lane, thanks for your insights.